All right, guys, this is the second video of our two-video series of the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn versus the 2025 Ford F-150 XLT. Today's video, we're going to be doing a drive and ride review comparing the base level motors, mid-level trucks, $60,000 price point. What do you get for the money and how do they compare? Let's get into this. Okay, we're gonna get this thing ready now for the drive loop. Let's get our drive mode set up. Wanna see what is our different options here. We're gonna set our drive mode up to auto. We will reset our fuel economy. And let's see how this Bighorn with the 3.6 Pentastar does in the wintertime. So we've actually done this loop before with a 2025 Ram 1500 3.6 Pentastar. But it's been in the summertime. And the big thing right now we've been focusing on is wintertime driving versus summertime. And seeing the difference we notice with fuel economy, because there's a difference in the fuel formulation in the wintertime. Plus, if you know much about air and density, the density of the air in the wintertime, it's a little bit more dense. It carries a little bit more volumetric density. And because of the air change, it can impact fuel economy as well as performance. So I'll be curious to see how this thing compares, being natural aspirated boost versus the boosted 2.7 liter Ecoboost today. This motor has been around for, gosh, I don't know, 15 plus years now. And for the most part, it's pretty solid. This has a different 8-speed transmission that's behind the Hurricane and the Eco Diesel and the Hemis in the past. This is a Ram Chrysler specific transmission. So it's a little bit different, but for the most part, it's pretty decent. To include, we wanna make sure we're in 2-wheel drive today too, not 4 auto. All right, let's see how we do. Acceleration power-wise, getting on the highway. Fortunately, we're gonna get messed up a little bit. Got a semi in front of us getting on the highway. And just like that, we're at 70 miles an hour. Gonna set our cruise. So this truck actually has the active lane management as well. Not a full-blown blue cruise, but it does have something to kind of keep you centered here and there. First impressions, let's see, is this gonna bounce us, center us? Yeah, kinda. I've gotten so spoiled with the hands-free driving that when I drive a non-hands-free driving vehicle on the highway now, I don't know what to do with my hands. First impressions of driving the Pentastar here. This little motor actually does pretty decent. Power-wise, performance-wise, what it really reminds me of, if you ever had the opportunity to drive, I don't know if it's 2016 to 2019 timeframe, General Motors used to add the 4.3 liter V6 natural aspirated engine in their Silverado CR1500s. Very much mimics the performance of that. Both natural aspirated V6s and half tons, no surprise. RPMs wise, getting on the highway, not bad. Road noise, going down the road right now, it's pretty quiet. You know, we don't have a sunroof in this one. This has the self-dimming rear view mirror. I mean, it's a pretty nice truck. The Ram ergonomics in their interior is really comfortable. I like, you know, you got your soft points for your elbows on both sides. So this is just, you know, realistically a pretty comfortable driving truck. How is this as far as comfort? Steering wheel. Steering wheel feels nice. I like how you got your drive modes right here. You got your gear selector so you can do manual adjustments for your trans here. Your lane keeping, your adaptive cruise here. I like the radio controls in the back of the steering wheel. It's been one of the things I've always really liked about Chrysler Ram Jeep products. Steering wheel is comfortable. Material feels nice in the hand. All right, getting off the halfway point now. Getting up to speed here on the other side of the highway. Kind of see the RPMs. Seems to be you can get up to a decent acceleration and keep it under 2,500 RPMs. Okay, so we're doing 70 on the highway right now, and we're currently in this spot. Okay, it just jumped up a little bit, but okay, unfortunately we're getting about 19 miles per gallon, but we're in 7th gear. I couldn't get it to hold 8th gear at that section. I'm not really sure why. Might just not have the low end power. Okay, so here's a flat now, 8th gear. Now we're going uphill now, but we're about 19 miles per gallon. And check out the RPMs, guys. I'm gonna say right at about 1600 RPMs at 70 miles per hour cruise. It'll be interesting to see how this compares to the 2.7 Ecoboost. The other thing that's gonna be interesting to compare is, can this little engine hold 8th gear, even on these little slight inclines that we have versus the 2.7 Ecoboost. Going to go up a very tiny incline. Really curious to see if it has to drop down into 7th. Yep, sure did. Huh. So this will be interesting to see in the same spot with the 2.7 Ecoboost. See if the next little incline pushes 7th gear. Sure did. Okay, so that's 2 inclines, and these are not very big inclines, and the Pinistar had to downshift. Let's see how that start-stop works. So engine is off right now. We will see how the engagement is of this. This is a really helpful tool when you're trying to get fuel economy and you live in areas that are a lot of stoplights. There we go. Pretty smooth engagement. I don't see any issues there. Engine doesn't sound bad starting up, and no like major vibration or anything in the vehicle. As far as driving impressions, as far as feeling in the vehicle, steering wheel feels fine. I don't notice any kind of feedback through the steering wheel that I felt with other vehicles. Pedal feel, brake feel, throttle feel, no problem. No weird vibration or feelings through my feet or seat that is noticeable. Seat comfort's not bad. It actually feels like it's actually got a little more lumbar support than what I feel like you'd see in a traditional, more value fighting truck with a cloth interior. So no issue there. Okay, we're gonna finish up our loop here and see how this thing did. All right, let's see where we're at. 20 mile per gallon on the dot, 17.7 miles. All right, let's get into this Ford and do the drive review. Okay, we're gonna put this truck in eco mode because we're doing for fuel economy. And we will reset our tripometer and let's get after it. So the one thing that is really neat about the Ford, and actually Ram now offers this in the 25 Ram, is Ford has been putting their drive mode, which allows you a lot of different settings. And some people are not aware of this, but basically what Ford has done is with creating drive modes in their truck, you can really tailor the suspension, engine, fuel economy, turbos, braking, ABS. Like, it really sets it up for what you want to do. As an example, the eco mode, what would you expect for eco mode? Well, of course, fuel economy, but it makes a lot of changes to how the engine performs. I mean, it kind of really, I'm not going to say dogs it down, but it really removes a lot of the performance out of it. Then you throw it in sport mode and it feels like 2 completely different trucks. It's like on point, ready to go, but you obviously get worse fuel economy. And I've done enough of these videos now to say that I have seen a pretty big difference in fuel economy on these Ford vehicles when you change your drive modes. Ram has a little different approach. They create like the off-road modes and things like that. They don't have an eco mode, they just have an auto mode. I'm gonna go on an assumption and say probably their auto mode is their eco mode, and then if you want performance, they do have the sport mode. We're gonna get on the highway now. Let's just see how this 2.7 performs compared to the 3.6 Pinistar. I've owned vehicles with both of these engines, and they both serve their purpose in different ways. Had a little better entrance onto the highway this time around than we did with the Ram 1500, unfortunately, just due to the vehicle in front of us getting on the highway last time. And just like that, guys, we're at 70 miles an hour. So neither of these trucks are equipped with hands-free driving, but they do have lane keeping systems. From what I've seen, I think this is the Co-Pilot Assist 2.0. I need to look back. This system seems to be a little more reactive or proactive than the standard lane keeping system that is on the Ram. This is just a touch under a hands-free driving. It'll almost go down the road hands-free without even touching, even going around corners. Steering wheel controls, very, very nice and laid out, comfortable. Steering wheel's in a good position. All my ergos, where I keep my elbows, is soft. You got multiple options here. No problem there. No blind spots. Mirrors are in great spots. Auto dimming mirror like that. Side mirror, it's got blind spot indicator. Gauge cluster. You guys know, if you follow my channel, I'm a fan of analog gauges, at least for the tach and speedometer. The Ram has, in this trim level, is analog for tach and speedometer with digital in the middle. I think that's the perfect combo. I wish they would have offered that on the Ram RHO, because I would have preferred that over the all digital dash. Road noise. You know, both these trucks are surprisingly quiet. I'm kind of shocked actually. I normally think on the lower trim level trucks like this that they would not have as much insulation, but man, it's really good. I'm kind of impressed actually how quiet this truck is. Both these trucks didn't have the panoramic sunroof, so that could be part of it. But both are really nice to drive down the road. Steering feel, pedal, brake feel, vibration in the seat, everything, nothing in the 2.7. These seats feel a little different. I think the seat foam is a little softer, and actually it feels, believe it or not, it doesn't look like it, but I think there's actually a little bit more bolstering and lumbar support on these seats. I'd have to give a slight incline to the seat comfort on the Ford F-150 XLT. Okay, we're gonna get off the halfway point now. Okay guys, we're setting a cruise to 70, and at this spot with the Pentastar, I could not get it to go into final overdrive, whereas the 2.7, no problem. All right guys, got about a straightaway here for fuel economy. You can see we're now about 17, but we were about 19 miles per gallon at 70 miles an hour. You can also see, I'm gonna guess at RPM wise, probably about 1,750 RPM or so, somewhere in that range. Okay guys, we're going up that slight grade we did with the Pentastar, and it downshifted. At the top, the 2.7 Ecoboost did not have to drop out of 10th gear. We'll see what the next hill is like. Okay, we're about to go up the next grade. This is not a big grade, but the Pentastar still had to downshift. You can see our fuel economy dropping. We are holding 10th gear, no problem. We're gonna get off the highway now. All right, let's pull back into Bob Maxxey here and see what we got for fuel economy on the 2025 F-150. Okay, let's see where we landed. There we go, 19.9 miles per gallon over the 17.8 miles. All right, guys, what's my thoughts after doing the drive and ride review and the overall conclusion of the comparison of the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn versus the 2025 Ford F-150 XLT? A few ways to look at this. If you're looking at MSRP alone, they're both within a few $100s of each other. The Ford is like, I think offers a lot more value. Number one, the 2.7 Ecoboost has more power and better low-end torque. It's got more tow rating versus the Pentastar. If we look at fuel economy, they're within, what, 0.1 mile per gallon of each other. If we look at technology, the Ford has a little bit better lane keeping system than the Bighorn. The Ford also has a 360 camera system, which is kind of nice to have versus the rear facing. Now, the pros I see for the Ram. Personally, I like the Ram interior a little bit more. In this case, I think the Ram exterior styling, I actually probably like a little bit more. What I also like about the Ram is the rear storage in the floor. It's been an area I think is a really nice thing. These are all purely subjective things. Other way you can look at this thing is we're really comparing completely different engines, boosted versus not boosted, both V6s, but they're both base engines. Now, if we look at this time of video, if we were comparing incentives and not just going off MSRP, I'd have to look into the details, but generally speaking, if you look across the board, Ram is heavily discounting their 1500 trucks right now, where Ford only has a handful of discounts. So you might be able to get this truck a lot lower priced. What would you go with? I'm curious, guys, your thoughts and feelings. Both trucks rode and drove very similar, performance, interior. They're both really nice trucks. I'd be happy with both. I'd buy either of them in a heartbeat and be happy. But I've had great luck with both of these engines. Hey, I want to thank Bob Maxxey for letting me do the drive ride review on this for you guys for the F-150. And I want to thank Pinckney Ram Chrysler Dodge dealer. I'll provide contact information to both dealerships if you're interested in either of these trucks or any vehicles they have. I hope you guys enjoy this video series. We'll be doing more of this soon. If you guys like seeing even a lower level of truck, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.